Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Curling Stadium live coverage from the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current. My name is Shawn Joyce, joined for this evening's broadcast by Matt Hames. And we've got men's action here on Friday night. The women started yesterday. They've been playing a little bit as well today, but the men just started this morning. 20 teams in a triple knockout event, looking for one of 8 berths through to the playoffs. Playoffs for the men start on Monday. Evan Van Amsterdam won his opening game of the event. Mike McEwen just playing his opening game now. They had the bye in the first round, and we're already underway, and we've already had a tick zone violation.
Yeah, you see Mike running up there to sweep that rock. He's like, "Oh, that's right. I have to run up and sweep the rock."
The teams have a practice session before we get underway and draw to the button to determine who would have last rock. It was Van Amsterdam winning the draw to the button. The McEwen lead. Daniel Marsh put up the guard on the first one. It's touching that center line. That is the no-tick zone that's been put into play for about the last, well, it's probably a full 2 years now because it's mid-season the first year.
It puts a lot of pressure on that lead to make the to not be tight, right? Like even this shot.
Yeah, it changes a shot like this, right? You used to be able to tight ice it a little bit, and you really can't now.
If you tick the guard, it was all right as long as you didn't take it out of play. Now you can't even tick the guard, so you got to make sure you're wide on these as a front end player. And then maybe overcompensate a bit.
Parker Conshu crashed the guard on the first time. It makes a nice shot here, passes it through the back, rolls away a little bit.
Well, that kind of gets him out of trouble. Like ticking the first one gets him in a little trouble, and then not quite making that come around. Leaving a hack weight or board waiter there. This gets him out of trouble. It's going to make a pretty easy end for them. I think probably going into this end, they were probably like, we have hammer. Let's try to just make this an easy end for us. That's what I would do if I was playing Mike McEwen.
They don't like to make anything easy. That's why they threw up the center guard. But here's a bit of a miscue. And it will just roll through the back. Made the hit, but loses his shooter, and that's a chance to peel the guard now.
Yeah, makes the end even easier, right? Like let's get through this first end, and just a little wide on the first one, a little tight there.
Sterling Middleton with the peel on the guard.
Well, so what do you think, since we have an opportunity to have a guard peel, what do you think about the idea of after 2 ends of blanking, you lose the hammer?
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me that question. I'm being as nice as I can when I say on the air that I think it's long overdue. It's gotten to the point where it's not just the players either. You talk about how good the players are, and they are, but the equipment is so good nowadays. Like the ice, I'm an older player myself. Like my days are all pretty much behind me, but we used to have trouble making the rollouts on a run back and stuff like that because the sides were so frosty. So you didn't get as many. Rocks didn't disappear out of the house quite as fast. The striking bands on the rocks we used to play with weren't nearly as lively as they are now because nobody knew as much about how to maintain rocks as they do now, and so doubles and triples are made pretty routinely now, and I think it's just a rule that was overdue. And
so it's really interesting you say that, right? Because the striking bands look pretty decently big on the rocks here, like not championship level big. So I think these rocks are going to be less lively, and the curling club I currently play at, I'm also of the older vintage. So, like run backs were things that you played when you were in trouble when I was playing, not for offense necessarily. So now the notion that you can just kind of blow it up on seconds last or thirds first and get every rock moving has completely changed the game, right?
Well, and I think the other thing when they test it, we'll see how it goes when they test it. But the other side of that too is that last rock is seen to be the offensive advantage, and yet largely it's not used that way, or at least it's not used that way first. Let me put it this way. I've never in my life heard the team without last rock say we better play this shot to keep the blank alive. It's always the team with last rock that's worried about keeping the blank alive. Well, you've got the offensive advantage, play offense. And I think that's all this is going to do, is it's going to put the team that's got the offensive advantage in a position where they have to play offense. Well, that's probably how it should be. The team that's at a disadvantage should be the one trying to play defense.
Yeah, so you're going to, like when you have hammer, you're going to definitely, especially in that second end, maybe not the first end, but in the second end, you're going to throw two corners. It's going to be like the eighth end and you're down one. Like you're just going to kind of go all at it, right?
Yeah, there's an argument made for that. It'll be interesting to see how it's approached. I've heard people say it's just going to be the other way around, the team forcing the blank. Right. I don't think it will be, because let's face it, you get into that eighth end when a team decides, well, we're going to score two, so we're going to throw two corner guards. It's next to impossible to stop them by playing defense. The teams that stop them by playing for the hard steal.
Exactly.
Because you really can't defend against an offensive team with two corners by playing defense. You have to play
one
offense
little
yourself.
miss and they're around that corner, and now all of a sudden you're running back for your life. So it's I think definitely it's, I'm of two minds about it. Like I definitely think it's overdue at the top level of the game. On my Tuesday night league, with my Tuesday night new curler league, where I play with two new curlers and a second year curler, like we haven't seen a blank ever.
Well, that's
we
just it.
Don't ever see blanks, right?
Yeah, the rules, even if they decide to put it in at that level, you're rarely going to see it played anyway.
Yeah, we don't even see a lot of ticks. Like we don't see a lot of guards that are right on the center line. So like the rules that apply to these guys don't really apply to the new curler leagues at my club.
My club's not even playing the no-tick zone this year, and part of the reason for that is league play started in late September. Curling Canada didn't decide to adopt the rule for general play until after that. We'd already started the season, and they weren't going to change the rule midway through. So I imagine next year it'll be the rule everywhere. But
you're
right. It's not always an issue.
We decided that we have a couple of leagues that are more competitive, so we'll play it, and then a couple of leagues that are less competitive, so it's not it. Like we just kind of walk out and talk. Again, they're not competitive leagues, right? So we just talk to the other skip and say, "What do you want to play the no tick?" And they're like, "Yes, I want to play the no tick, please." So. It brings up one interesting thing, right? Like, what other sports is there a different rule for the pros that doesn't exist at the club level?
Oh, like honestly, what sport isn't there? There's a million rules for baseball. There's different rules for football. There's no shot clock in basketball.
That's true. Yeah,
it's every sport.
Right. Yeah, every sport has different things. I think that's the growth of curling. Maybe curling needs to get to that point where we have to just admit that the game that we're watching right now is different than the game that we see at our curling clubs. And that's okay. Like it's fine. Like these guys are going to make shots that not a lot of players are going to make. So in that instance, if we want it to be a little bit more entertaining and more rocks in play, and not like this, right? Like we don't want this. The players don't mind it, but we don't really want this.
Well, the announcers don't love it because we're not really talking about the game here. You know that you're expecting these shots to get made, right? It's pretty routine.
If I was watching this game afterwards, I would just FF this whole thing. Like just fast forward through the whole thing.
Yeah. It is a pretty common strategy, though. A lot of these teams, men's and women's, doesn't really matter. Now, part of this goes back to the scoreboard management. So many teams are so conscious of having the hammer in the even end. Like again, older vintage player myself, we didn't used to worry about that till, well, in an 8-end game, we'd start worrying about it in the 6th. In a 10-end game, we would worry about it in the 8th. These guys are worrying about it in the first end. We'd like to have the hammer in the 2nd. So, and it's almost all of them are thinking that way. So Van Amsterdam came out here thinking, well, we won the hammer now. If we can blank the first end, we've got hammer in the even end.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
He's got his chance here.
Yep.
Needs the hit and roll out. He'd have to be awfully unfortunate to jam it on that yellow one. Even then, I'm not sure it would be in.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we are. There you go.
Jams it, but spins it out. We've got a blank here in the opening end to play. Evan Van Amsterdam, Mike McEwen, second in action right after this. Both of these teams playing like they got somewhere to go. We're back for the second end after the commercial and already onto the third stone of the end. A little better start for the a little better start for the Van Amsterdam team here. They made the come around. No tick zone violation here, so we've got some rocks in play.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see the pattern of guard, come around, freeze. That's a little shorter, so that changes it a little bit, right? That changes the call a bit. And this kind of illustrates a little bit more of a defensive play here.
This is definitely a defensive play because there's a little bit of separation on the yellow-red in the rings, but not enough that he's going to miss that run back.
Yeah.
Had to carve that to try to avoid another tick zone violation, but in so doing, they're going to go through the back.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough throw right there.
Yeah. Do you play the run back already, or do you risk the freeze? And I know what Mike's thinking, right? This is a case where you hate to play the run back too early. You don't want to blow everything up and see another blank. But if you play this corner freeze, there's a chance you could make things worse for yourself in the house. Like, it's good right now. If you freeze this wrong,
you change the angles and there's no run backs, right?
Yeah.
But the good news is that they have to throw. Like, they have to do something.
Well, they have to do something, but this is the fifth stone of the end. So, I mean, if you make this really good, they could just start cleaning up the middle.
Right.
And if you don't make it really good, they might not have to. Well, he made it really good.
Yeah, so they're going to play this runner, right? They're going to try to get all three yellows moving. Must stay for a corner guard, which is a that's optimistic.
Well, he's got to hit this fairly close to the nose to make it. Boy, you don't want to over curl it. He got that going.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah, not a great throw there. Got that going a little bit.
Yeah.
Does move a couple of guards, loses his own stone with it. Mike McEwen will look to guard the stone in the 8-foot for now.
He's holding up a 2, meaning that he wants it to be like a halfway guard.
Yeah, probably halfway or a little bit higher.
Yeah. A little bit higher is probably good.
Yeah.
Probably playing this onto the red and to try to just blow it up again.
Yeah, that would be why he'd want some separation. Well, they're not going to get it as a 2.
They're definitely not getting a 2, are they? They're coming right in. Well, that changes the call.
Fortunate that it stopped.
You can make this double and roll. Yeah, you might be able to roll this on. Or so? Close anyway.
I think it's high enough it's not rolling into the rings.
Yeah.
The critical thing I think here for Van Amsterdam is to make sure that they don't, you could make this just off the nose. Well, you'd hate to stagger the reds. I think you
Yeah.
want to roll past it, I think.
Yeah, you want to get all the way out. I don't even think you need to keep your shooter here. At this point, you're back to like, let's blank this one, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if you were rolling out if you were getting rid of the yellow.
Yeah, that's
a force stone where it sits.
Yeah, you're close to Force Town now, but you can't really split the rings. You can think about it, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
come around this.
Can't split the rings because if he decides, well, we're going to get forced anyway, he's just going to come around his own guard.
Yeah, you got to get there first. You're gonna leave the net run back, but you can't take away all the ways that they can score reduce. So might as well get there first.
Got to get by first. This is really
this
curling.
Doesn't look great.
Chips the guard. The shooter rolls to the center line.
Ooh, look at that. Good for him. Well, the logic being, like, if you hit that outside one and roll, you're going to be behind the tee, and they're just going to draw anyway, so you might as well get in there first.
At worst, it's probably only one shot earlier than you'd want to go if you were making a decision when to play an offensive shot anyway.
Yeah.
You'd love to go on thirds last. It's just set up now to go on thirds first.
It would be the less complicated time to go, because now there's just going to be a lot more rocks in the 4-foot. Or not.
Well, I definitely wanted that in front of the tee line.
Yeah.
I'm
Take that rock and move it up 2 feet, and you're in a glorious situation.
I'm a little surprised they didn't just take it back when they realized it was behind the tee.
Yeah. There's not even a reason to be shot at that point.
Well, the only thing I'm thinking is they were concerned because it was still well out in the open. And if you take it farther back, you're also going to bury it more too, which isn't helping you at this point.
Yeah.
But it moves really big late here in Swift Current. And so when it did finally come to rest, it's pretty close to dead behind the guard.
Yeah.
If they knew it was going to be dead behind, they probably would have taken it back.
Well, this is bouncing off. Oh, no. Look at that. Yeah, you're right. Just gets right to the nose. Red is second shot. Not sure.
They are, but I think you got to play to move this yellow, and it's going to be hard to get it by the red.
Absolutely. Well, if you just tap this back a couple of feet, you don't have to get it past. It's a half rock double on the outside yellow.
It could be, yes. There's still going to be a bunch more rocks thrown in the middle. I'd be more worried about.
I know, yeah.
If you're trying to tap this back, I'd be looking at trying to keep angle to pass it by the red, but no, he's going to line them up.
I don't think that's horrible right now.
No,
when you see an overhead, I don't think it's going to be horrible.
Mike's got to move it to be shot now.
Yeah.
Is Mike?
He's got to try to get inside, and nobody's really scared inside yet. Everyone's gotten by the guard by a ton and still got to the nose, so you can get inside.
Yep.
He's really got to try to get inside here.
Yeah, he does. It depends on your point of view. It's not critical that he moves it on this attempt. If you got right to the face on this attempt, how does he ever score two? And it's still there to be made on the next one. It's critical to get to the nose. I don't think you're trying to move this unless you can get across the face.
Right.
So you kind of got to throw this to the sweepers. And that's where they've got, one of the things this team has done since they assembled, Colton Flash, who's one of the better sweepers.
He can sweep.
He throws third, and he's done some skipping before, but he's not in the house.
Yeah.
And that was a conscious decision. They have him there to brush, and if memory serves, I haven't seen them much yet this year, but I'm pretty sure Colton's the inside brusher no matter which turn they play.
Pretty
They'll switch
much.
him back and forth.
He is. Yeah,
So,
I've watched a bunch of them. He's always the inside sweeper.
So this is one where Mike, to make the shot, he's got to throw it to the brushers. If they don't get the line, they just freeze it. And as soon as they've got the line to get to the inside, they'll let Colton go.
I think they got some aggressive ice here because they got Colton on the inside. They're playing this pretty tight. Yeah, there you go. Great shot. Oh, it is dead buried now.
Yeah.
I think you can chase this and get it out of the 4-foot too. But I think you can hit. I think you could hit half a rock with like a somewhere back line, little positive back line.
But do you pop out in the open if you do that?
You do, yeah, absolutely. But I think it's tough to double them up because of where that back rock ended up, right? So you leave a hit and roll back.
You leave the hit and roll back, and if he rolls just another 3 inches under cover, you're not getting to it.
Yeah, no, I know.
This ice, he's got a lot more ice. This looks like a dead freeze to me.
He's got a lot of ice. I think Mike played a really aggressive ice there. I think
well, you could play the dead freeze here. If you get the angle right, you've got a run out there for 2 or 3. Mike can't take it away if you get the freeze on. That looks like more weight.
That looks more weight than a freeze. I think he's playing the hack waiter.
Yeah, pushed it far enough back that
gonna leave it's a hit and roll for basically to not give up a deuce in a new spot.
Yeah, that's the tricky part about it. Now I'm looking at where he makes contact though. He could roll if he rolls right onto the S and the S3 logo. I think he's still fully in front of the T line. He could make it very difficult for Evan to score.
He could play the same shot he just played, come down to the other red, knows it.
Could.
The Dane, and just sit in front of that.
It's risky.
He would. It has some risk, but it's the same shot they just played.
Oh, but that double off the corner, it would be flat, but it's there if he's all the way to the back 4-foot.
Yeah. It would be for 3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big shot here. Trying to make it curl. Nope. Trying to make it not curl.
Just the difference in the weight. He's a little quieter, so it rolled to the back part of the button. There's definitely room to score. Might be room to get to it, to move it just enough for 2. And I say that only because I've seen a few teams play draws earlier on in the event here this weekend that you can over curl the guard. And if you look at the shot, that stone is just about fully over curled on the guard. So if he gets tight enough by the guard, and he only needs to move it, not even a foot, 10 inches maybe, 8 inches.
Yeah. Definitely not much. The hard part about the shot is the weight. Like, what the ideal situation is that you kind of throw T-line on its own and you just sweep it to the spot it needs to be. But it's easy to throw it like a little heavier than you need to be.
Yeah, you know what? I can't tell if he comes to his own stone who's shot rock, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think it should be this one, of course, unless he spills off at all. This is one of those shots where as soon as you're by the guard, you'll see the outside brusher take it.
Yeah.
So they're already sure they're by.
You want to treat this like a draw to the tee line, basically, and then sweep it to the spot you need to sweep it to.
Touched it, but not thick enough to move the yellow onto the red, and he does pick up his single point. Evan Van Amsterdam with a 1-point lead here after 2 ends of play. It'll be Mike McEwen with the hammer for the first time in the third. If we keep playing at this pace, the grandmother of the Leeds is not going to be happy. She only gets to see them maybe throw one rock and end. Already 2 stones down there. The first guard missed the center line, so it's off the center line. It's not in the no-tick zone. They're still looking to come around it. Daniel Marsh threw up the corner guard. Parker Conshu coming around his own guard from his first one, but that's going to be into the back 8.
He might come around the corner guard.
Oh, I'm sure he's coming around the corner guard. Yeah.
Well, we could get some rocks in play here.
Yeah.
Gonna finish right at the end here, right? Just
yeah. There's been movement to the corners. This is the second week in a row they've been playing here. Now, not all of the teams were here. In fact, only a handful of them were here last week. But good movement to the corner last week. They've got more movement towards the middle this week.
Oof, that is really, really tight ice.
And that's still a free guard sitting out there. This is just the 5th stone of the end.
Yeah, that is. It's almost a foot less ice than on the draw. We're gonna have to pound. We're getting pretty aggressive on this ice call. This might not end well.
On the guard. And it does hit the divider. So the guard goes back. The shooter removed from play. That might be a little too far over. I don't think they could see the outside of it at all. It was pretty much dead buried before.
Yeah, it was dead buried. It was a tiny bit over buried.
Okay.
So
that's close then.
Yeah, that's pretty close to where it was because that was a very aggressive ice call. Yeah, where do you go now? I don't actually hate coming around on right there. Yeah, I think that's the shot. I like that shot better than going to the back one.
If I'm coming to the back one myself, I'm trying to tap it through and roll open. Make him play it.
Yeah, just try to sit in the back there.
Yeah, if he's got to hit the open one back there, it's not. He's not going to do you any harm with that.
But why not? I like this too. Like go top 8 here, buried, and really put some pressure on.
Well, I think this is because it's the odd end, though, too. You expect Evan's likely going to run the guard back if you make this, and if he gets them all, well, you're back to maybe looking at a blank end here.
Yeah, I know, but if they ever miss the that run back, this isn't the worst thing either. Like just double guarding it there.
Even if it just bit the rings, would have been good.
Would have been great, yeah, to bite the rings. But it forces play to the middle. It forces like we're not in blank end territory now. We're in some rocks in play. We're not walking down blank end road.
It's not to say we won't end up there, but
yeah, we're a couple stops away from blank end road. We're gonna need some misses to get a blank now.
Boy, you don't want to leave this one half out in the open. That leaves the roll behind those double corners.
I think you're going to see Mike just chase it and like try to sit 2 here. Or
Well, you
one, I
can't
mean,
sit.
not two, not two. Yeah, just one.
I think he wants to sit shot and in front of the second
Yeah,
shot,
yeah,
ideally, not stay buried, just roll over just a hair.
yeah.
The two draws that the Van Amster team have in the rings, both deeper than they would have liked, and that's giving Mike McEwen some rocks to work with here.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to get something in front of the tee line.
It just helps your cause. Like the rocks in front of the tee line are your friends. Rocks behind the tee line are the team with the hammers friends. So right now it's yeah, it's precarious. Like you almost have to play a kind of come around freeze to that. Yeah, play the outturn come around freeze.
I don't know if you need to make the freeze. You're still back to that spot where top 4 foot's probably better than back 4 foot.
Right. But what I'm saying is like you're throwing a draw.
I know. Yeah.
You're not in a great situation right here.
Well, the
Like
main reason
you're throwing that.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's about where you're at right now. It's ugly. Like it's not good. That rock on the right hand side is lost. And
and the one he's trying to freeze to is over buried. Like he's coming around the garden over burying it. You freeze to it, and you freeze to it wrong, and you could be facing 3. You could make this shot, and Mike McEwen could still be sitting 3 after his next one.
Yes. It is not good. It's like you're kind of in desperate situation here. This is thirds first, and you're freezing without hammer. So it's this is going to be a do or die end. Not bad. You can still chase it with this in turn, so you can make it go away with this in turn. Flash just hits this a little bit high side and rolls on top of his own. They're gonna have to try to just splash them, and just hope for a give up a deuce.
He's not going to move it very
He's
far.
on the guard. No, he's on the guard. All right. Well, that's a bit of a reprieve. Still kind of in a precarious situation.
We are, because there's a double on the Reds right now. So
yeah, so you gotta like just come around. It doesn't matter what turn. You just gotta come around and make this top 4 foot. Doesn't have to be shot. Needs to outcount that one on that outside. Top 8 foot, bite the top 4 is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as convinced. You could guard.
What do you like?
You could guard.
Yeah.
It's hard to get this rock into a perfect spot. And if you're not in the perfect spot, you're in trouble.
I think you're in a situation now where this rock is not necessarily a steel rock. This rock is a defensive rock.
I know what you mean.
I hear what you say. Like you could throw a guard on this.
I mean, they're likely going to have to peel something if you throw the guard. There's always the come around to be played later.
I think this does put a bit of pressure. It does bring the game a little bit. Like it's gonna be tough to manufacture a deuce if you can put this biting the top 4. The tendency is to kind of throw this a bit light anyway. So you got your guard. They're gonna have to rip those. I mean, you might be able to chase that still.
They needed that to bounce a little bit.
Yeah. Give Flash a chance to play the same shot he just missed. Probably not going to miss it this time. Make the adjustment.
Looks like more weight this time.
Gotta make this one curl. Not curling like it's not curling. Gonna move it.
Yeah, that's not a good leave for McEwen.
That's not a good leave. No,
that's a
that
double
is
and roll
awful.
behind, and now it's a steal situation.
Yeah, do you need to make the double?
Do you want to leave those there where Mike can come off of them?
Yeah, I mean, if he's coming off them, he's coming off them for one. Like both of them are going.
Well, I think the back red's going when you hit him.
Yeah. Yeah,
he doesn't have to come off both of them either. If you just leave him there, he gets by the first one, touches the second one, and catches the red.
I mean, it's way tempting to just play this shot, right? Like it's super tempting to just play this shot because they're just the hit, right? Because then you get rid of those rocks and you're not going to give up you're not going to give up 3 for sure. Because there's only 2 rocks left.
Well, and they're at the exact right depth. Like this is the shot.
Exactly.
Mike McEwen last end when he played the hit and roll. Now he threw it quieter. I thought he was going to throw a little more weight, try for the flatter roll. That's what Evan's looking at here. Like if you get the nice flat roll, you should be right on the flat roll. You should be right on the pinhole here, just looking at the depth of the rock you're making contact with. And still doesn't have to whip it. Just it's not going to be hack weight.
Just a normal weight hit, yeah. Maybe a little bit more than normal, but not much. A little firm. Close. Oh, it might have overcurled. It's a little bit overcurl at the end there. Wanted to roll that half a rock less. It's not awful, but half a rock less and you're...
Mike looking at the double peel, and because they're side by side, that red that he makes contact with first on the center line is coming back fairly straight. Hard to know exactly how much, but there's a good chance he's making contact with one of those two in the forefoot. That's what they're trying to decide right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you got to hit like almost on the nose, though.
No, I don't think so. Half a rock, I think. Because it's going into that red and then it'll come straight back. It's hard to tell if they're touching, and that's what they're getting down to look at it. They've called Colton down to look at it. Because if they're touching, it doesn't really matter how you hit it. It's coming straight back.
Yeah.
I don't see any daylight myself. So if that's what he's looking at the double peel.
It's like somebody's aggressively saying, "Would you come down here, please?"
Because really, if that's there to make, you double peel those 2 guards, have it come back and clip one of the 2 out of the forefoot. Either one, it doesn't really matter.
It's definitely touching. So then it becomes a question of like the...
Yeah, I think the key then is you got to make sure you hit it thin enough. That's Mike looked like he was trying to judge the angle. Is there any way we can hit this thick enough that it misses the second rock and just comes back onto the yellow? Because you saw him get behind the yellow and look.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could, but I think you hit half to 2/3, touches that rock, comes more or less straight back, double peels the guard, clip one of those 2 out of the forefoot.
And you're back in a situation where
you're sitting second and third with no guard on shot rock, and Evan's got to be careful.
Well, we're going to get to see what happens because he's going to play it with some pretty solid weight here, probably based on that ice call.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be moving. So let's throw it Mach 1 and see what happens, right?
Yeah, probably doesn't even need to be quite that hard. It'll be, good firm normal. He might throw peel. He's not going to come out of his shoes. It's not going to be one of those ones where you extend and worry about missing the broom. The other thing is that Stoney hits first after it comes off the second one's probably going to pick up a lot of spin. So if it makes contact in the house, it's probably flying anyway. It's the question will be whether or not he hits one of those 2 and just exactly where.
Well, here we go. We're going for half a rock.
He's pretty thin. Yeah.
That's what I thought would happen, honestly. But, I think these... Now it's an issue for for McEwen. If you can get this rock in, you can get this rock biting the top 4 foot right there, right where he just put his broom. Just bite the top 4 foot. Take away the in-turn. Center line biting the top 4 foot. You want to make sure you bite the top 4 foot if McEwen plays it. If he throws it and tries to hit it, blow it up, that back one counts.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be fully in the 4 foot, or a nose hit outcounts that back one. Nose hit could get rid of a couple of rocks, and he could score 1. If you want to avoid the possibility that a nose hit on this rock scores 1 as a sweeper when you're watching this.
I do think you want to be dead in front of the shot stone. If you're splitting center here, and you're in that tight, I wouldn't be totally shocked to see Mike McEwen try to get all 4 of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you got to make sure
that's what you want him. I think that's what you want him to throw.
Well, it's for deuce. If he makes it, he's Mike McEwen.
That's fair. Yeah.
If you curl far enough that you're dead covering shot rock, it's not there.
It's very, very easy to underthrow this rock too. Yeah, well, there's no didn't really make it tough on him, but it's not.
Well, it's tricky.
It's super easy. Pick that top one with the weight that he's going to throw here, and it's ugly. Throwing against 4. It's not a bad situation to have him throw against 4. It did not look like this earlier in the end when they were freezing on thirds first.
Yeah, no.
It looked a lot more precarious, and it's funny how a curling end changes.
This is still not a gimme. I mean, Mike McEwen,
yeah,
he's not going to throw a lot of weight here. We've seen him throw a couple of shots like this already. If he's a little bit on the outside at all, a little bit on the high side, with the quieter weight, the top red, I mean, it's jamming on the second one. It's not going to go very far.
Yeah.
He's got to get right to the nose to be safe.
He's got to get to the nose to get his 1.
This is probably even more weight than I thought he was throwing. It's going to be a hair on the outside. Good. Enough to push the second red to the back 4. He'll pick up his single point. We're all tied up once again here after 3 ends of play. 4th end coming up after this, and Van Amsterdam will have last rock once again. No time clocks being used here in the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, but you can't tell from these two teams. They are playing at a brisk pace already. Again, onto the 3rd stone of the end as we come back from the break. Daniel Martian, this time being asked to throw the long center guard, so they're going to go with the 2 center guard strategy. And just watching them, you could see that little inset picture during the commercial break. I think this was a last-minute decision by Mike McEwen. He kind of looked like he sat back there, looked where the rocks were in the house, and decided, our best spot here might be a long guard. Yeah. So I don't think this was predetermined that they were going this way. It was just based on where those first 2 stones are.
Well, look at that come
even
around.
Shrugging back there now.
That come around came around the intern side, the clockwise side, and is over buried a little bit. And it's just, the finish is incredible, right? Like, it got by the guard and is over buried. Just by it. You can see it a bit on the other side. That is just great curling right there.
That will come to a rest, just biting the top of the button.
probably a little deeper than they wanted it. If you could move that rock up a rock, they would probably be very happy with it. Right now, they're not mad, but they would just like it to be up a rock. This is going to shrink the rings on them right here if this is made.
This is the 5th stone of the end, so likely the peel's starting after this. Now this looks like it's curling early.
Oh, this is curling a lot. That means that it's probably light. I could change the peel decision. Yeah. Ooh. Coming around that.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I'm not sure about that either. Yeah. Might think about that for a second. Like, I hear you. Did you ever get inside on that guard? Yeah, just, you don't even have to tap it out of the rings. Just get it to the back of the rings.
Could you ever peel the tighter guard and get the 2 yellows tight to the rings? It kind of looks like you could see half.
I like that, actually. Well, I don't know. Does it go? Yeah.
Even if you stuffed it.
Yeah, even if you nut it right there, that wouldn't.
It's better than it is right now. That yellow stone that was just delivered it's a tough one to ignore, right? Because there's an angle raise on it. If you come around it, they can get to the nose of it and probably drive it onto.
That's your Danger Bay rock right there.
It is.
That's the one that you're going to worry about, and you're going to lose sleep over if this end goes badly.
And if I'm coming around, I'm sure not doing it from this side.
Yeah. I like the double. I like the double peel. That's a good shot.
I like it if you make it. That long guard by itself isn't really hurting you.
No, it's not. It's not really. My first instinct was to try to get rid of that rock and tap it to the back 12 foot, like back 8 or something. Just try to nose it, or just get inside a bit. Yeah.
The danger of this, you end up right beside your shot stone. You just made a double wide target for him to run that back into, and he's not going to have to run it back hard. But you've made a wide target. It's like it's hard to miss.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like the McEwen rink missed that shot, and they didn't really miss it badly because they put the rock in a spot that's way usable. But let's see what happens. Like, that's a good shot. That's what they wanted to play. Putting some pressure on.
They don't have to play that top one back now either.
No, they've got lots of time.
That's why Mike was looking at the freeze too. I mean, you can make the freeze and still have the tap back later.
Yeah. So the good part about the tap, if you play the tap, is your shooter's going to roll a tiny bit more open to leave you the ability to play more weight later in the end, right?
Yep.
So they are. I think that's what Flash came down and said. Like, if we can tap this frozen and roll our shooter out a tiny bit. Yep. Just that's the goal. The goal is just to hit it a bit on the outside and freeze on that top one and get your shooter wide open. Here is the shooter. Shooter's open, and you're in pretty good shape. Shooter looks like it's going to be open. They're trying to make it curl. Way too open, in fact.
Well, Mike's
it's not doing the hole. Mike's doing the hole. That's a great shot.
It's not bad because it came off, and that tap is still there. It's a little closer together now, and so is the in off on the red.
Yeah, it's not.
The same yellow rock is the one I'm worried about if I'm having.
I know.
But I don't know what you do with it now. You got no way to get rid of it now.
Well, your shot is still there. Maybe like the.
No, because now if you're the guards, you mean? No, because it's coming back into the reds if you're over the top of it now.
Oh no, just the guard right in front of where he's standing onto the other one. and just nut that again.
Do you think you could see enough of it to nut it? I'm afraid you come over the top and then you're driving it back into the reds.
Might come over the top. I'm not sure that you're. What if you just like intern freeze onto your own top one again?
That probably makes the in-off easier. I think he's looking at the split off of his own. I like that if you make it, because it gets rid of the in-off, right? It doesn't even have to be that far back. Tap it just behind the tee line, and the in-off is gone.
Yeah.
And just roll over to freeze on your own.
And roll your.
It's a split. It's a split, right?
You don't even have to. You don't even have to actually freeze on your own. Now, like you could move it over too a little bit.
Yeah,
where his
right
broom
into
is,
it. Right where his broom is. Sure.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. Then you're making the pocket bigger for the yellow tap. Yeah, I think like you want to be on the face of your own, if you can.
Yeah.
I like this call.
The danger rock still again is that top yellow rock, right? That top 8-foot rock is the rock you're the most worried about right now.
That's why I think you want to roll to the face of your own, not beside your own. If you roll beside your own, look at the
It's
going to be 3 reds across. It's hard to miss them all.
Your rock is the one you hit is gonna be pretty far away then. But it doesn't,
which is fine as long as it's behind the tee line. I mean, if it doesn't come back on the scoreboard, that doesn't matter. But you can't leave it where they can come off it and blow things up.
Yeah. Well, this might be curling.
Yeah, he's not hitting it. This is straight draw now, and it's too much weight for straight draw.
Okay. Well.
Touches his own. It actually, if anything, makes the tap back a little tougher because now it's moved that red over.
Yeah, it has.
It's tough to get to the nose of the yellow. The in-off on the red's still there. You come off the red into the side of shot rock. You kill second shot. And if you stay right there, it's a pretty small house. This is thin, though.
This is the shot. This is like you got to make this one. It's thirds first, and you pretty much got to make this shot. They're playing it pretty quiet.
Yeah, they play a lot of these quiet hits, and it's probably the way to play this because you're really thin on this. If you throw any more weight and you hit it a little thick, you might just roll right across everything.
Yeah. Keep your shooter in play no matter what.
It's not horrible.
No.
You would have loved to roll it just a sliver further, but I think it's probably far enough. You could make the yellow and the double on the reds.
Yeah, well, they're throwing the guard on it. Might make the red yellow easier, depending on where this guard goes. I mean, if you don't throw right now, that yellow looks pretty tough to me.
I've never been a fan of throwing a center guard with last rock, and I'm not a fan of it here either.
I know. It's good. You want this to be just over, right? I think, like really high, because this one's coming back. I don't love it either. By the way,
no. He's got the angle slash on the rock that's just barely touching the 12-foot too, which he could slash into the 2 reds and double them.
This is not going to be good. This is not good.
Probably curled just enough.
Might have curled just enough.
Mike's going to play the shot I just looked at, and he makes the double on the reds. Yeah. Now you're guarding shot rock.
Yeah.
Like he makes this shot, you just guarded his steal.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a good feeling that he's going to make this too, or it's going to be close.
You know, they're going to be close. You just know they're going to be close. They're so good at these shots.
All he's got to do is stop it on one of them.
Oh, probably a lucky break there for Evan Van Amsterdam, and it touched the yellow one and pushed it out into the open. If it doesn't touch the yellow, this is a totally different end. As it is, he's got a chance to get to the inside, pass it by, and 3 is still in play.
Well, certainly a deuce Certainly, if he can make a good shot here, and it's a solid, might be. I don't know if he can pass that back one, but it doesn't matter.
I think if he's getting in behind, he's going to have to pass the back one.
Yeah.
I think if you're jamming it, you're not getting behind. You're staying right there.
Oh, he's on the guard. Eesh. Gonna spin in. Spin in for, yeah, spins in for a little break there.
Second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, second, third, and fourth is not. They got to kind of deal with this outside one.
Yeah, he's probably got to hit something.
Yeah, he's just playing. He's just probably playing control here again, and roll way over to the back one.
Yeah, that's what they talked about. So he's looking for a thin piece of this, roll on to the one at about the 7 o'clock position.
Believe a hit and roll for skips deuce. So assume he makes this, rolls to the back 4 foot, back 8 foot. It's all heavy. No, he didn't leave a double. He left.
Well, he might have, but you're not making the double and staying, and you're probably
not
losing one of the reds.
You're losing one of the reds, so you're only sitting one. So,
and it's at the back 8.
You just throw, really at this point. Do you just throw the draw?
Yeah. You could.
So your options are hit and roll.
I think if you throw on the draw, you're trying to like what Evan's looking at. You're trying to tap that yellow at least through the 8 foot, so you're sitting again second, third, and fourth. Or no, you'd be shot third and fourth.
You'd be shy. What does that get you? Like then?
Well, Mike tries to come down and sit on it again, but Mike would have the same shot, but to follow it down. But if you leave that yellow, half in the 12 foot, half in the 8, he can't get the red one out. And so now bring that rock two stones forward. So Evan makes the freeze, and then Mike makes the tap back after that. He's on the back corner of the button. The slash double clears everything after that.
Yeah.
So that's what it gets you if that exchange is made. Now Mike knows that too, so he's going to look for something different on his, but they make the decision to go after the top stone, though. And this is not wrong. You can get your deuce here. This is how you get shot rock in front of the tee line on your first one.
Yeah, you can sit buried shot in front of the tee line. This is a skips deuce shot and an outside chance. If you can roll this enough, like if you can over roll this a little bit, then an outside chance at getting rid of that back one still for a crooked score. Key is roll the shot. If you can over roll it a tiny bit and like even half open on the outside, forces Mike to make a freeze on his own back one. Let's see. And roll for skips deuce here. Nice quiet wait. Gonna curl at the end, boys.
Yeah, they're gonna move.
Good looking shot. Oh. Would have been great, but that's great. That's a great shot. You take that all day. Think you can chase it? Think you can chase it with hack? He's contemplating freezing on the back one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Freezes the back one. I'm not seeing how he's scoring two anyway. Mind you, if you don't get to the back one, you might leave him an easy shot for 2.
Right. It's real interesting. Like, that's the first little indication of a chase right there. It looks chaseable to me. Pretty high guard. If that guard wasn't in the way, like if that high guard wasn't there, you can see a quarter of this rock, so you would chase it no problem, right?
Well, I mean, you got to be careful where you leave the shooter. If you roll just to the, well, let's say just fully open on the other side of the center line, he can blast the double.
Yeah, that's true. And if you do try to chase it and hit a little too thin and roll over the top of those back ones, you leave a tap for 3 too. That's danger too.
Yeah.
Yes, freeze to the back one. If you do freeze to the back one, you don't. It is pretty tough to score 2, right?
The big end's never there, and even a 2 is real tough if you make the freeze. Now you got the same problem essentially if you play the freeze. If you don't get enough of the nose of that yellow stone, they can blast it out. Even if they lose one of those rocks back there, it's 2.
Yeah. Well, so he's just gonna try to freeze to his back one, dead on the nose of, as close to the nose as he can get to be able to get there. Finishes like crazy.
Colton had looked at, and I don't know if that's what they're looking at from the hacks now. Colton, just before they went down, had looked at the out-turn draw to try to bury for shot rock, and it might be there.
Yeah, it might be. It's not a bad call, actually. I think you can get there. Might leave them a little like a little tap on their own red. That's risky. Playing the freeze to his back one, trying to get to the nose.
This is going to stay out there for a long time and then come sideways at the end.
Gotta make sure the speed is good at the end.
Here it goes.
You don't need to make it curl, boys. It curls.
Boy, I don't think they got that deep enough. That's an over-the-top double for 3. Might even be able to hold the shooter, but I don't think you throw it that quiet.
I mean, you might be able to make 4.
Yeah. Hard. It's
that way
thick
you can
half.
see
Thick
a
half.
little bit more than you can see. Like hit a
yeah.
bit. You can
thick
see
half. I'm thinking you got to be across the face on it, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you're holding the shooter, but I think it's definitely there. That died on them.
Yeah.
They had the line. All they had to do was get it there.
I think you just play this assuming you're going to lose your shooter.
Yeah.
Your shooter's not going to outcount that top rock, and if it does, great. But you want to just make sure you go over the top, and you lose that. You lose it over the top, that back one, and you get 3. And 3 is an outstanding number at this point. Yeah, I think it's a half a rock. Maybe a bit more, just a thick half.
Yeah, I'm thinking thick half. And only because you need to hit the second one thick enough to go over the top of the third one.
Call it 5/8.
Well, that's thick side of a half. Yeah. The only way he hurts himself, I think if he hits everything that he can see, he could dead stuff it. That would be a little scary.
Yeah. Curling a bit. Might be curling too much.
Curling too much. I think he's going to touch the red.
Oh, dead jam. It just touches the red. And
so had a chance for a really big end. Ends up touching his own stone. Jams it. It's a steal of 1 for Mike McEwen. He dodges a bit of a bullet there. Takes the lead. Evan Van Amsterdam with the hammer once again in the 5th. Well, it was a steal of 1 for Mike McEwen in the 4th end, and just 1. But, Matt, if you're Evan Van Amsterdam, it feels like more.
Oh, it feels like a ton, right? So you just really need to figure out how to bounce back from that. It's rough. Like you got to keep the shoulders up. You got to just stay positive. This is tough. This is hard. The hardest thing in curling when you feel like you played a great end and you should have got a good crooked number and you give up a steal. It's pretty easy to do this, to just like throw your come arounds. Not great.
Short and over curled on the first one. Touches the guards again, but still doesn't remove it from the no tick zone, so everything stays up there.
Yeah. And now McEwen's like, I don't know what to do now. What do we play?
Well, yeah, it's one of those ones where you almost need to change the angle, but
yeah,
he can't move the red one off the center line either. So if he's going to change the angle, he's got to hit it on the outside probably, tap the yellow up.
Yeah.
You can't do that, Mike. I just saw the gesture that he made was get to the nose or inside the nose and break the angle. You can't. If you move it off the center line, everything goes back.
Yeah.
Now you can hit this just on the high side. You hit it on the broom side anywhere the red's not leaving the center line, and you can tap the yellow into the rings and change the angle that way.
And stagger the guard on the outside.
Well, and I think he has to, because you saw him point at the double run. It's dead lined up right now.
Yeah. It's got a bit of weight.
I'm not sure they changed the angle, though. I
No,
think they've left the double. And this is the sixth stone of the end now, so the free guards don't matter.
Yeah. I think you just play this with like a board weight. You don't even have to throw normal at this. Rocks are your friends. Like, you're not desperate in any way, but you want that red rock that you fire in to stay, and it doesn't hurt you to have rocks in the back of the rings.
The tricky part of this is no matter how much it looks like it's dead lined up, you hit this off the nose one way or the other and it could drag a little bit. You'd love to stuff this back there. I think if you stuff it, both yellows in the rings are going. Sterling Middleton with the big weight.
Not sure you need to throw it this hard.
Makes contact with both of them. He loses the raised stone, spills the yellow out into the open. It's not a bad result.
No, it's a good result. It's a they're a little bit more in the it's less bad this end now.
There's still a stagger up there though, and Mike's going to try to come around it.
Yeah, he sits buried behind the stagger, and it's going to be tough to blank this end or get some offense going. You're going to be chasing. It's a good spot.
Now, if you
He can get rid of them all.
Well, and what I'm wondering is, because if you're hitting this on the center line side, which is what he's looking at, it's going to drag a little bit. Does the yellow? Is there any chance?
Might get that yellow
one in the 8 foot. Yeah, because that gets you back to a chance to blank. And actually, if you're one down playing 6 with last rock, that's not a bad spot.
No.
If you can get this end back to a blank.
The problem is that I don't think you can get rid of your shooter and the other center guard.
You're right. You can't.
So there's going to be there's still going to be some guards in play, no matter how hard you throw this.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be full on this. Wow, it dragged plenty. It got to the inside of that stone. Does remove it. He still left the stagger up front.
Yeah,
they can't buy a break on the peels. They've left staggered guards every time.
Mike initially called a guard on that. I don't think. Not sure you want that. You want to do that. I think you want to do that. I think you're at a 4-1. Looks like he's going with the guard. That's guard ice, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. Interesting.
Third's first stone here. I don't mind the guard here. You got to make it. You sure can't overcurl on this.
I guess that I could be talking. So you play the guard because if you go top 8 foot around the staggers and they make a hit and roll buried, then you just threw a guard on there, hit and roll. So you're just kind of killing a rock here.
Don't think you want this to curl.
Now if they play this, they're probably going to play the run. And then you go around on your next one.
Then you go around and they have less time to get out of it.
Yeah. Because they gotta roll under the stagger to make this.
If you're going over the top, you could be a sliver off the
way.
side. You're not rolling out, I don't think, though, to your point.
I'm trying to make it curl. He might throw Larry. He doesn't want to throw a guard on this again. He wants to go around the corner. He wants to go around that stagger. You play the out turn around the stagger.
Yeah, I don't hate the guard, but you're tempting fate here.
Yeah.
You make the guard too good, and Evan might decide to run the red one in, and if he stuffs it,
then you're
wishing you hadn't thrown the guard. Yeah.
I like the out turn come around here. The out turn come around the stagger and sit 3/4 open.
Yeah, he's trying to delay that as long as possible.
I know.
Now, I think he plays it on his first, because really, if you play it on your first, they need 2 shots to get at it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, you make this good, and you hope that he plays the yellow run, he doesn't play this red and stuff it. Those are your 3 shots.
If he wants to play the draw, I think Mike's happy with that. Like it's tough to score 2 in the amount of space you got left.
Well, he's probably thinking draw run, right? Like a runner on his last.
Well, yeah, but Mike's going to throw a rock in between, so that's a problem.
No, if you put this rock where he just put his broom top 4 foot, it won't be shot. Where does Mike go?
He's still likely following it down to sit in front of it, or he could guard the run. Actually, for that matter, he could just play the hit and roll inside off the run. Then you got nothing.
If you made that, then you're running the yellow for your 1.
Well, he might not have it. If he rolls underneath the yellow, he could stagger again. I think this needs to be shot, and I don't think it's going to be.
He didn't call it to be shot. He just called it to be there.
I think it needed to be.
I agree.
If you're worried about that run, you could hit that corner guard.
Yeah, no, that's a great shot.
Just roll a sliver underneath.
Well, because you don't want to roll too far because they'd have the intern chase then, right?
No, you only need to stagger it. You don't need to be right under. They're talking about just guarding it to take it away, which you could do that too.
Yeah. Mike's talking about just drawing around this out turn,
which is good too. But if you rub off that stone at the top of the 8 foot or top of the 12 foot, you could leave a double.
I mean, he's gonna play this red run anyway, right? He's gonna play this runner. If he nuts it, then all of a sudden you're playing a top because he shot.
Yeah, maybe. Depends.
You're gonna kind of force him into this runner. This is the. I mean that's what they played this shot to play the run for two. So you're not taking away the run by playing this shot, like by playing this draw. You're only making more consequences to the run. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like again,
well, if you're sitting two, the run's not going to give you two.
Yeah,
but
so
there is some risk here. You've got to be tight to that stone of the 12-footer. You're not, you want to at least be edge to edge when you stop.
Yeah.
If you leave air, he's got the in-off double. This is out there. This is way out there.
This is way out there. And finished at the end. They all finished at the end.
I think it got there.
Gonna leave the runner double. Gonna play the runner double for your life there?
Not on my first stone, because if you don't make it on your first one, you've already lost the game.
Well, I know. That's why it's for your life, man. It's the runner double for your life.
I'm looking for something else on my first one if I could, and I don't mind Sterling's shot. If you could get to the freeze, get slightly to the inside where you're already second shot, that runner now is
nose. Yeah, can you get to the nose?
And Mike had a mile of room, so you must be able to get to the nose or slightly to the inside.
You got by an acre.
You might be able to get enough to the inside to be shot rock, to be honest.
Yeah, all you got to do is tap this back. You don't even have to sit.
You don't even have to tap it.
Right?
If you get to the corner of it on the inside, if that runner double, they're wondering how much that drags, and I don't see it dragging enough. Like, you'll make sure you have a shot to score if you play the double peel, but I'm not seeing how you're ever getting more than one.
What they think that that you make this double peel and you.
They have to think it's dragging enough to catch that stone in the 12-foot, but I'm not sure it's catching it in a good way for you.
They think it picks it onto the one on the 4-foot.
And they're hoping for a bit of a bonus in that the top stone comes across the top of that corner guard and maybe pushes it into the rings as well. This is mostly about making sure he's got a shot to score. I didn't mind Sterling's shot. If you get there, I think.
I'm with you. I'm with you. They played a shot that we weren't even talking about.
And they got pretty much what you should have expected out of it, like nothing. That looked like it had to drag a lot to touch that stone in the 12-foot. It didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't move it at all. Didn't touch the corner guard.
It didn't change anything.
There's no stagger there now. I mean, he could run that guard back somehow or another, but I'm not sure how that's better than what he was looking at a second ago.
Well, yeah, that outside runner was. Well, you gotta play it. I think you're gonna be playing that for your life now. So that's one of the things, right? Like if you're find yourself playing a runner for your life, you might as well play it on your first. None of it is ideal. Don't get me wrong.
No,
I'm not saying it's ideal.
Well,
he's going to be playing that angle run back now.
Yeah, the weird thing about that shot is I'm not sure what he thought he was going to get out of it.
No, I don't think there was.
They had to be thinking something was making contact somewhere that it just didn't look to me like it was going to, and it didn't.
It didn't look like to me that there's.
This has got a ton of room
talking
again.
About a bunch of possibilities, and that wasn't even on my radar.
Well, he's left him room to get to the inside of that chisel in and roll in for one, which is what he's going to have to play.
Yep.
It can't feel great that you just watched Mike McEwen come down that side twice and neither one of them moved.
No. Hopefully they were watching his release.
He absolutely has to get to the inside here. He's going to be playing with some kind of hit weight. Maybe hacked a bumper with that ice.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive ice. And they haven't seen a lot of curl. I wonder if this is like a backline to hackish kind of thing.
You sure don't want to overthrow this. Anything on the outside, even the nose, you're giving up probably too.
Yeah, you really don't want to overthrow this, right? So you want to play like basically think about a heavy draw and and assume it's not going to really finish for a long time. Got it out there a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I saw too on the release.
Bit of release, but
they did indicate out of his hand that the weight might be down a little bit. That might save him. It still looks like it's got a curl to me.
Yeah, it's got a curl a lot.
It's a steal of 2.
Steal of 2, yeah.
It was a long ways out there, and they were still sweeping it straight for most of the way down. Came by with lots, makes the hit, but doesn't get the roll. Put 2 more on the board for Mike McEwen. They open up a 3-point lead now after 5 ends of play, and then Amsterdam with last rock again in the 6th. Well, with a 3-point lead now, Mike McEwen throws the first stone into the rings. The corner guard goes up, now looking to bring another one into the center. This is Daniel Marsh, the lead for the McEwen team.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Van Amsterdam throw the kitchen sink at this end.
It does look like
throw another corner guard.
Yeah, with where they put that first corner, I wouldn't be shocked to see them throw it. And it's always a question now when teams are going to throw the 2 corners. Where do you throw them? But we've got so much good movement towards the middle here. Hard to split the house. I thought he was going to throw the tighter corner.
I did too, actually.
On the same side.
So much for the kitchen sink. I was completely wrong. I would not have guessed a hit and roll on this. I think this is the frustration call. And it's not wrong to be frustrated.
This is a good way to keep the game close, but it's a tough way to come back and win.
Yeah. This is just, man, I can't believe we're down. We've been playing really good. Like, we haven't been playing 4-1 down. They really haven't. They've had in the second end, he had a double for 3. That end it wasn't an easy shot, but it was a hack weight hit and roll with lots of air on the guard. Like, the guards weren't in play for the hit and roll that he was playing, so it's just frustration when it goes like that.
Kevin Marsh with the hit. They're hoping to hang the shooter on the edge just as much as anything to get the force here, and it might have spun back.
No sweeping by the skipper.
No, you want to hear back there helps him. Yeah,
that is my all-time pet peeve. You want to be a skip? Fine. You don't have to sweep, but you have to sweep that. Just go and sweep it. Just clean it.
Which one?
I don't even care
which skip. If I'm Evan Van Amsterdam, I don't want that out.
Well, you want it out of the rings, but not out of play, right? You don't rather not be in the rings.
I don't even care if it's out. I'm not thinking about a blank here. Blank, you lose the game if you blank this end.
Oh, I agree, right? But it doesn't have. Just be with it. That's all I'm saying.
No, let it stay. I'm fine with that.
All right, let me say
that's a good spot. Just biting. There's room to come around the whole thing again if you had to.
He's going to chase it.
Might. He's 3 points up. You could just peel the corner guard too.
Yeah. There you go.
It's kind of a scoreboard shot. You peel it because the way you get in trouble is you try to chase it and you just wick one of them or the other.
Yeah.
Now the question is, you make this peel, what do you do if you're Evan? Are you guarding that one for a couple and just playing for your 2?
I think you throw guard on this one for sure.
What are we at? Seconds last stone.
Yeah.
So 1 more guard or 2?
I think
you got to make them dead lined up too. That's the other trick.
I'm pretty confident in this one. I'm not sure about the next one. So they make the peel. Go around their rock.
Yeah, then you leave them a chance to play the straight back double.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna leave a double anyway, unless you throw a guard again, and then you can only throw one more guard.
This is a little closer together than you
This
might
is
have
a
liked
little
them.
closer than this might change the whole thing. You might take a run. Oh, you know what?
He might
If
be
you
okay if he
take
takes
it,
a run at it because there's some risk with that rock just off the rings at the back, right? If you miss it, so he's going to play the straight peel again. Scoreboard
just
again.
playing the straight peel. Just make the rock go away. Don't get fancy.
Yeah. These
right,
are
so
actually the situations that I like to watch. It's cat and mouse. I think you're stuck guarding. Think about it this way: if you'd put that rock in the 8-foot, you'd guard it right through until probably skips first when you might try to split the rings. And it's tough now because you split the rings any other times, whether you're splitting front, back, or side to side, there's going to be a double because of how high that rock is.
Yeah. I'm not sure that you throw the guard on the next one, though.
If you're not throwing the guard, I think you're almost coming back 8 on the other side. You got to keep that yellow in between the two reds so you can't play the double.
Yeah. Well, this is not good. This is not good. Yeah, it's not good. It's going to nose it.
I don't think he wants to stay there, but he'd have to hit it awful thin to hurt himself. Well, if he stays there, he's coming around everything.
Yeah.
Like that red guard by itself is no good. But if you stay right there and give him a staggered corner where he can come right around the yellow from the center line side.
Yep.
Not sure what the discussion there was. Maybe a little bit worried about the jam, but the jam is so thin. And they probably can't tell that from the hack end, but it looks really thin.
Yeah, it's like it's a third, right?
Yeah, or less.
Less than a third.
Yeah.
With the kind of weight that he's going to throw.
I think half clears it easy.
Yeah. Well, they're pounding it for line, so let's see.
Half cleared it easy.
Yep.
Nice shot.
Yeah, that's not going to... I think you're at a different point in the... I don't think you're at the point where this is really an offensive shot anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you have a choice though. You can't play for a blank. You blank this and you lose.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just not sure that this is your
short's okay here as long as you line them up. If they just have to peel the top guard, this becomes the guard you can come around.
Yeah. It's not bad.
That's not horrible because they're not going to peel now because they can't get rid of the one that's a problem.
Yeah.
Now, you're still going to have to make something on your first one, but at least you're going to have rocks in play.
Yeah, have you ever scored 2?
Well, you got to make something on the first one, right?
You got to make something and hope for a miss. You got to play the tap and change the stagger. He makes a perfect guard. Mike throws this guard.
I think you're trying to freeze.
Yeah, he freeze, and then you're playing like
if you're corner frozen.
Run.
If you're corner frozen, you might leave enough of your shooter that you've got a direct path at it. So then Mike has to guard that, and you've still got the run in. Then you can't take everything away. Run in's a long run in because that guard's too high, but. The nice part of it is you're not way out in the wings playing a run in. They'll know the ice. Just because there's a lot of distance between them doesn't mean these players can't make them.
But you're playing a run in for one, though.
I know. Well, not if you've got the corner freeze on your first one. You're trying to stuff it. I'm not sure he covered it. And he left him the side where he can roll behind the two reds.
Yeah, it looks like it. He's not happy. Yep, that's your shot, man.
Yeah, the question is, what weight do you have to throw? Look at with the reverse stagger between those guards.
I think you have to throw this.
I don't think you're getting between the guards
Why
with
would you?
hack, right?
Yeah, you're not getting between the guards with hack. I think you got to throw like a control-ish.
But then you
And
roll
try to
past
get
the
as close
corners.
to the nose as you can.
Yeah.
Like, because you got to get by that top yellow as close as you can. Like,
Yeah.
skinny the top yellow. I guess you could play the draw.
They're playing the draw and then play that, thinking that might still be there on the last one. And if you had to make it with the last one, you don't have to stay buried if you're making it on the last one.
Yeah. Do you have the top guard into that rock right now?
Probably just, because it does look like there's a port between the red and the yellow that we could see on the overhead.
It looks like it. It looks a bit like it.
It's kind of like if you make the port, you're going to make the shot, but it's tough to. It's not a gimme to make that port.
No, it's not a gimme to make the port, but I think that's if they make this shot where they're putting their broom, they're leaving that.
I think the reason they're looking at the draw. Right? Yeah, I think the reason they're looking at the draw is because they're figuring the amount of weight they have to throw to come through the port and make the hit on shot rock now, they can't stay behind the guard. They're probably thinking the weight they'd have to throw on that reverse stagger, they're rolling too far. Once you roll out into the open,
your hand's over.
You're in no man's land, yeah.
And the good news is for this last shot is you could actually throw it with peel, and you've got a catcher on the left-hand side, right? So you could you hit what you can
don't have to do it. I think it's just if you make the port, you're good. They're going to try it.
Oh, we're going to see. Yeah, I think this is here.
It looks like it is. I mean, you could see more than half of it if you get. I mean, you're going to have to flirt with the guard, the yellow guard, a little bit, but. You get to a little bit of finish. You can get 2/3, 3/4 on this easy enough, and that shouldn't overroll the guards.
Yeah, I think if you hit what you can see, you can make this with control. And that's what he's throwing based on the ice. Control, bumper, like all that.
Evan Van Amsterdam with his first and the sixth, trying to negotiate the port again. A little bit of a set on the release. They're sweeping for curl early. He's got to get by the corner guards. Not going to.
That was a little bit of a positive release there.
Yeah, if you were going to throw that type of release, you needed to tighten up the broom.
Yeah, way tighten up the ice and give it to the sweepers.
Could have been a way to make it. You take the broom where you're already off the guard.
Yeah.
Throw that type of release just to hold it straight early and then get it to curl at the end. That's fine if you're playing it that way. You just have to. That broom that he took, that's not what he was playing. But
that's not what he was playing.
There's lots of players that would, throw it straight for the first
absolutely.
Little bit.
Just slide a little tight and give it a positive release and very aggressive with your throw.
Never worrying about the outside guard that way.
Yeah. Needed to be sweeping that the whole time for the top yellow, not the outside red.
Gives Mike McEwen just basically a freebie here. You've got at worst a blank. You get any piece of the rings here, it's probably at worst a force, and you could steal a point here. And if they pick up the steal, this might be the last end. Yep.
Put this right on top of your own one, and you get to go to bed. Or go hang out. There you go. That makes life real tough. That makes scoring tough. I think the only way to score right now is to outturn draw to the button.
Oh, I think he's got to stick the angle run.
Yeah, well, stick the angle run is the other shot. So you could draw the button.
You think he'd get enough of it?
On the button. Yeah, absolutely. You
Well,
just gotta. You gotta.
the stone that was just delivered is just fully rocks with, well, maybe there's a sliver of it on the center line. So it's the edge of that rock is, let's say, 10 inches off the center line, and you need to get 4 inches of button. If it's there, it's just there. I'm not sure it's there.
It finishes pretty hard, but yeah, it's they're gonna give it a whirl because that's probably the shot instead of the angle raise hero shot. I think you can make this shot. I think it finishes enough, but this is a very precise shot, and
let's put it this
the
way.
ball game, right? Like you're probably not giving up one, or you're not giving up a steal at one here.
I'm sure the angle raise is possible. I'm not sure this is possible.
Yeah. Well,
they're both degree of difficulty is.
Yeah,
I'm pretty happy if my opposition's throwing either one of them, but to be honest, but
yeah, they're both the ball game right here. Like this is it.
Yeah, for sure. Both brushers down early.
I think he has the weight.
We're not going to find out if it would get there because he's not going to have the weight. Does he have enough to cut him down? Not even that. It's going to be a steal of 2, and that will be handshakes.
Yeah.
Mike McEwen picks up the win in what was his opening game. Evan Van Amsterdam, after a win earlier today, loses his second. He'll drop down to the B event. Both of these teams will continue on tomorrow and through Sunday, trying to reach those playoff rounds on Monday for the men. The playoff round for the women is on Sunday. We will have all of the action for you on all of the sheets here in the Curling Stadium Swift Current. It's the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. All the games streaming all weekend long and commentary on selected features. My name is Shawn Joyce, my partner tonight, Matt Hames. We've been thrilled to bring this to you. Had a great game tonight, and we expect a lot more action.
You know, I just want to finish by saying, like, the Van Amsterdam team, they didn't play that great or that badly. I mean, like, they played really well. And it was a couple of shots here and there. And this scoreboard, it looks like a blow up, but it wasn't a blow up.
Evan would like to have a couple of his last stones back, I think.
Yeah, like they can go off and hold their heads high. They played pretty well. And, you know, they just kind of learn from this and keep going. And it's a lot of fun. And definitely just go to curlingzone.com and check out where the feeds are and where the links are, and watch a lot of curling.
5 draws, I believe, tomorrow. Again, 5 draws on Sunday. So a lot of curling action ahead here from Swift Current. We hope you'll join us for all of it.
We'll see you later.